I have lost my lipstick. I have a specific bag that holds my red lipsticks. And it is currently MIA. I can't find my lipstick. Namaste, hello everybody. I have misplaced something vaguely important, so I'm losing my ever-loving mind here. I guess I'm going with this. I cannot believe I've misplaced it. But, you know, sorry. This isn't red. I don't like that. Sarge, quit bitching at the cat. It's Betty Boop. That's all. I don't know where I put Betty Boop. Probably fell down somewhere. More than likely. But it's not on my desk. Oh, he said more. It's in plain sight, and I'm saying more than likely. I am fairly certain I have touched it this morning, and there's a good chance that the reason I'm not spotting it is the black sequins are face up instead of Betty Boop's face. Just look over on that side of the table. There's a very good chance it just fell off, and it's over there.
There's nothing there.
Because it lives on here. I am fairly certain I have had it in my hands this morning. But for the life of me, I have no freaking clue what I did with it. It is not there.
I don't know, there's a whole bunch of crap piled up right there.
It's not there, not there. It's not in the purse. The only other place I can think of is that it's over there, and I will worry about it later. I'm just going to get on with my life at this point. Because there is no other option. It has Betty Boop's face on it. Now that I have another lipstick on, right? But you know what we're going to do? We're going to mix colors. Nope, I am not sitting on it, which would be, you know, not surprising. I made a commitment to, until this fucking fascist regime is over, I am wearing red lipstick on camera. Close enough to red now, because I just added a very bright tomato red that I don't normally wear. All right. I'm better now. Oh, dear God, I was. Namaste, my witchlings, and welcome to yet another Sunday Coffee and Cues with Disorganized Di, the Yoga Witch. Hey, Mimi. Hey, Andrea. Hey, Joram. Let's see, and we have a Bean here somewhere as well. All right, so while we wait for everybody to come in, get settled in, get comfy and cozy, we're going to say, you will be respectful of the energy you bring into my space, and you will be respectful in my chat. Elsewise, my mods and Arnold will be finding your ass with the ban hammer.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hey, Will. Ta-da! I can see again. All right, now let's take a quick sip of coffee and get started for the day, shall we? Consider either picking up buying Witchy Mama a cup of coffee or some took her treats for us, would you please? As I slurp. There we go. Haha. Not so much the Red Regime. I did an entire blog post about this. Red became synonymous with patriotism, etc., during World War II because Mustache Man absolutely despised red lipstick. So women who wanted to show that they were not going to bend the knee and bow to his authority started wearing red lipstick. And this led to Estee Lauder herself during the women's suffragist movement marches in New York, handing out red lipstick to the marchers. I thought so, Andrea. So it was kind of a combination of defying the fascism and showing that you were in support of women's rights. So, ooh. Oh. Yeah, hold on. It's retail therapy or retail obsession. My bad. Oh no, that isn't. That is the blurb. Okay. I'm being dense today. I saw the... What about the... Huh? No. 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 All right, so he is having problems figuring out what my notes are because I failed to put a title into part of it. No need to be concerned, just frustration on my end. And he had my volume down with how he hears me here. Oh, it is definitely going to be an interesting week. All right, y'all. Let's get started. Hey, Raya. No, we're good. All right, shall we get going? We have... Retail therapy may feel like self-care, but often it is a... One more time. Retail therapy may feel like self-care, but often it's a temporary fix that leaves us drowning in stuff and emptier inside. The Knight of Cups reminds us to romanticize the present and seek deeper fulfillment. Emotion, not excess. Mind both your financial and spiritual bank accounts. Balance is sacred. As Mr. Rogers said, each moment shows us we're imperfect and still growing. All right. Namaste, my witchlings, and welcome to yet another cozy Sunday morning coffee and cues where we sip, share, and stir a little soul into our mugs. So go grab your favorite crystal. I am playing with quartz today. Still, light your candle or incense, cozy up with your coffee, tea, or whatever brew fills your mug this morning. And let's step into today's spiral together for some good conversation. Don't forget to do the whole like, share, and subscribe thing as it keeps the Witchling circle growing and the sacred spiral turning. I can talk. We do not have a birthday today. All right. We are lighting our candle today to be a beacon of hope and light to those who have lost their way. And now, as we light our candle, we close our circle and invite the ancestors to join with us today. May this flame be a beacon of light and hope for those who are stumbling in the darkness. And in this sacred glow, we hold space for all survivors and victims of gun violence, offering our light as a small sanctuary of healing and remembrance. There we go. Let's see. There was something I'm talking about. I do still have space in my signature offering if you guys would like to register. Please let me know and I will give you the code to take a significant amount off of the cost. If you're interested in joining, the information is available on the website yogawithdylin.com under the book tab. I saw. That's okay. We'll deal with it. There's the website, y'all. All right. We have holidays. Can't say I blame you there. All right. Shall we move on to today's holidays? I know. Oh, hot. Oops. We're having a wonderful day. I love the beginning of the week. Everything is just all discombobulated. Okay, so we have National Civic Pride Day, Sesame Street Day, U.S. Marine Corps Day, and World Science Day for Peace and Development. So we have 4 holidays. National Civic Pride Day. A beautiful reminder that our communities thrive when we take pride in them. Maybe that's tending to a local park, smiling at a neighbor, or simply expressing gratitude for where your roots are planted. Magic begins when we care for our shared spaces. Sesame Street Day. Give me a second because I have to work to read this and not sing it. Sunny days sweeping the clouds away. Today honors the world that taught generations kindness, curiosity, and community. Maybe revisit your favorite character's wisdom, Big Bird's open heart, Grover's enthusiasm, Cookie Monster's acceptance of cravings, because balance, right? Or even Elmo's desire for kindness everywhere. U.S. Marine Corps Day. Whoop, whoop, hoorah to all who've served and continue to stand in defense of others. As a Navy veteran, I raise a respectful salute to our Marine siblings. Honor, courage, and commitment, values we can all embody in our daily practice. And finally, World Science Day for Peace and Development. Science and spirituality are not opposites, they are partners in wonder. Today, celebrate curiosity and innovation as sacred acts. Every discovery, every question asked brings us closer to understanding our shared universe. And that, my lovelies, is our holidays for today. Whew, more coffee. Oh, yes. All right, so that works. Robert Burns Day. That sounds kind of cool, James. All right. Boom. There we go. I am thinking... Bring me beer. Can't say I'd argue there. Yay, Mimi, I'm so happy that you got your stuff. Oh. Yep. What are your plans for the holidays, Suyash? We will be here on Thanksgiving here in the States. I am not entirely sure what we are doing for Yule/Christmas. We'll figure that out once we get through Thanksgiving. Do I have a favorite band or a band you enjoy? I have a few, and I grew up listening to country music, so I have a deep love of country music. And then in my early teens, I moved to pop for a while, and then back to country. So my number one all-time favorite band that was a bucket list concert is Alabama. I have had this weird-ass connection to the state of Alabama for as long as I can remember, but they are my favorite country band. And then my favorite pop, hands down, New Kids on the Block. I have loved them since pretty much they came out. Really, their second album when they blew up. And then about a little over 20 years ago, I'm flipping through this family address book that came with the announcement of the Barrington family reunion in Wisconsin. And I come across a Marlene night in Boston and a Sharon night also in Boston. But what caught my attention was Marlene's address. Because I am autistic ADHD, I remember the weirdest shit. And Marlene's address, on top of Marlene Knight being Jonathan and Jordan Knight's mother's name, the address attached to that name was the address of their original fan club. And I'm going, there's no way in hell. Are you fucking kidding me? I am related to the two siblings in my favorite pop band. You are kidding me. I have since found where the Barrington family, where our family branched off to the Knights, and I'm going to start following that to confirm it, but I am about 98% sure that I am related to two members of that band. Oh, girl, you should. Now, see, Andrea says she can see me doing an Alabamian accent. What you need to understand, there are two different Alabamian accents. There is the Northern Alabama accent, and there is the Southern Alabama accent. How do I know this? Let me tell you. My former best friend was born and raised in South Central Alabama, south of Mobile. And then my darling ex-husband, who is one of my dearest friends, is from Northern Alabama in the Huntsville area. They sound completely different. To the point, I was out and about somewhere, and this woman was discussing the fact that she's from Alabama, and I'm like, you're from Northern Alabama, right? And she's like, how the hell did you know that? Because you don't sound like you're from Southern Alabama. You know the difference? Oh, hell yeah. So, yes, I can do both quite well. Depends on who I've been hanging out with more recently. Poor man behind the curtain used to go absolutely street rat crazy because I would talk to the former bestie for like an hour, and I would come back and talk to him and have her accent. And then I talked to my ex-husband, and there's a particular southernism that drives my poor darling husband insane, and I would be fixing to do everything. And that was one that would make him just cringe hard. He hates that one. We'll get to that, Jorm. It makes him cringe so hard. So that is my favorite music. Let's see. Yeah, I would love to learn more about Robert Burns Day, James. I'm probably going to go look that one up shortly. As in, shortly after we get done with this. See, I can do Finna. I don't do it as much because I haven't hung around with my black friends as much as I used to. And that is one that a couple of them use all the time. Adam, God, I miss Adam Conover. God, I gotta find what he's doing these days. That's why James does it. Okay. Yeah. He's one of them. But see, Shellamel will do it occasionally too. And Shell's from Texas. Gotta stop and think. But yeah, Adam Conover is so fun. I can't remember the name of his show, but we watched it all the time. The Munchkin got me into Adam Conover. I have a tickle. I need to start powdering when I use this foundation. There we go. All right. So, Adam Ruins Everything. Thank you, Andrea. We loved Adam Ruins Everything. Okay. I was just looking at what was next. Lost what? Oh. Oopsie. That's that one. There we go. Found it. I know. Lost and Found. Adam Ruins Everything. That show was so much fun. I did not realize he started on College Humor. But once I've... Aha! Okay. Joram is saying that God is an anti-Buddha. I'm thinking criminal. The devil, Satan. Sweetheart, we are not Christians here. And we don't do the devil and Satan. We do other things, but we're good. Well, hello, guard dog. There are deities that do protect and defend the underworld. Hades being one of them. His lovely wife Seth being another one. Yes, I am on nickname bases with some of my deities. I'm trying to figure out how they think I look like a twink that's 25 years younger than I am. And not only is he 25 years younger than I am and a twink, but he's something else too that I'm not going to say on this channel. I have not followed James Charles since, yeah. I don't
Hasta
think
la
they were
vista,
expecting me to know who
baby.
James Charles was. I love it. Mimi still hasn't hung out with. Yep. Yep. Oh, trust me, the man behind the curtain got him. I'm just amused that they said I look like James Charles. You know, holy shit, how is it just now dawning on me that this makeup artist has the same name as my older brother? That's kind of amusing. Anyways, moving on. Shall we find out what this week's Sanskrit word of the week is? I'm actually kind of happy about this one because it just is perfect for the theme of the week. Okay. All right. What are we doing here? There we are. Rough. I get it, Luna. Okay. I get the Luna. I got the Luna. Anyway, we're going to move on to Sanskrit. That's the word I'm looking for. Brain is just... I think the spark plugs in my brain are skipping. Yeah. All right, y'all. No, I'm not firing on all syllables this morning. All right, so my darlings, my dears, my witchlings. This week, our Sanskrit word is pither, I think is how it's pronounced, which translates to ancestor. I have forgotten. I looked up the pronunciation of the word and my brain just isn't retaining it. So let's try this again. This week, our Sanskrit word is pither, which translates to ancestor, but it carries a deeper resonance than the English word ever could. In yogic philosophy and Hindu tradition, the pithers are our ancestral spirits, those who came before us, who shaped our paths, whose wisdom and choices ripple through our lives now. To honor the pithers is to honor the roots of our being, not just our bloodline, but our teachers, mentors, chosen family, and spiritual ancestors. The ones who walked the spiral before us, clearing the path and sometimes leaving markers for us to find our way home again. This week, as we explore gratitude and reflection, Pither invites us to pause. Pither invites us to pause and listen for the whispers of those who came before, to notice how they still move through our breath, our rituals, our laughter, and even our stubborn streaks. So today, let's lift our mugs to the Pithers, to their courage, their lessons, their flaws, and their love. May we carry their light forward with gratitude and grace. As we sip our morning brew and reflect, remember, you are the living dream of your ancestors. Every breath you take, every kindness you share, every time you stand up again after falling, that is them living through you. And that's our Sanskrit for the week. Or our word of the week. You're too far up now. All right. And now my witchlings. I know. And now my witchlings. Let's open the circle to a few reflection questions for today's brew, shall we? All right. I do want to be able to see the chat here, love. So we go click that, tap that. Hello. Ah, we have Zin. Hello, hello. All right, scrolling up. There we go. Exactly, Andrea. I look absolutely nothing like him. My hair's even the wrong color. Just saying. Doo-ba-doo. Time management is a thing. Yep. Hey, Zen. And Harif. Hello, hello. Yup. Yup. It takes a long time to look this good, right? Ooh, it is cold for Mimi. I am so sorry, my friend. Ah. Ooh, hot chocolate. All right. I got some questions for you guys. So I'm going to grab this, scoot it there for a minute. All right. So, yes, crystals do work, just not necessarily in the way that one would think they do. A lot of people think that because crystals have the metaphysical properties, you can just kind of grab a crystal. Let's see. Where is my damn little... Oh, because I just moved it around. Okay, so we have rose quartz, right? And rose quartz promotes love and healing, right? So there are a lot of people who think, okay, I have rose quartz. I'm going to tuck a rose quartz in my pocket or in my bra, and tomorrow I'm going to meet the love of my life. Is that how it works? Unfortunately, no. I wish. But by surrounding yourself with multiple pieces of rose quartz, you can help surround yourself with the energy of love, and it can draw love to you. It does not mean that you're gonna, meet the perfect partner tomorrow. Hematite is a protective stone that repels negativity, and people think, oh great, I'm gonna buy a bunch of hematite and throw it on my desk, and then my boss is gonna leave me the fuck alone for the rest of the week and keep his negative bullshit over there. Is that how it works? No. Does it kind of subtly influence him to, maybe chill out a little bit about it? Yes. Will it eventually make him stop? Potentially. But they are not overnight quick fixes. There is no overnight quick fix with magic. It's not like you go abracadabra and wave your wand and all of a sudden your life is perfect. If that were the case, I would not be, without a running vehicle and wondering if I'm going to pay the mortgage next month or the vet bills, as that case may be. Yes, rose quartz is typically, as Andrea said, used for self-love and helping you cultivate that feeling of self-love. Because once you know yourself and love yourself and understand yourself, you are far more likely to attract a partner who is going to treat you well. And that, my friends, is the important part. All right, so and it's always raining up. It's way too freaking cold back there. Wales is actually a lot like the Pacific Northwest weather-wise, my understanding is. It's not 5 feet of snow every winter kind of cold. All right, so I have some questions to think on and reflect upon. So this week's Sanskrit word is Pitar, ancestors. So who comes to mind when you think of your ancestors? By blood, by spirit, or by choice? I have a few. I'm going to let the everybody in the chat go think about it and respond. I'm trying to not. I saw it. Aha. Okay, so who comes to mind when you think of your ancestors? The funniest thing I have heard people refer to Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers as ancestors. I would throw Irwin. I can think of his daughter's name, but the crocodile hunter, Steve Irwin. I would throw Steve Irwin into that. I was saying yay for Andrea. Yay. That's what I'm seeing. Okay. And then once you bring those ancestors to mind, how do they continue to shape your life or your practice today? Oh. I'm envisioning that meme that I have seen that is the opposite of toxic masculinity. Okay, Andrea. Well, as I said, it's not just your blood ancestors, but ancestors by spirit or by choice. Hence why there are people who consider Bob Ross, Mr. Rogers, Steve Irwin their ancestors. For me, my ancestors start with my mother's parents and then move back to my grandmother's mother. I never met her father. My great-grandfather passed away when I was a year old. But I sure met Grams, and that woman made an impression. And then there are various others. I'm trying to think of who all else I see as an ancestor. My grandfather's younger brother, definitely him. I'm trying to come up with spiritual ones, though. Probably Scott Cunningham, because even though he was Wiccan and I am not anymore, he was a great teacher and he actually helped me set my feet onto this path. And then there are various others musically and literature-wise that are ancestors to me because of the fact I am a musician and I wanted to be a writer at one point. So that's kind of my thing. And the way, let's take Scott Cunningham since I mentioned him. How does Scott Cunningham continue to shape my life or my practice today? Scott Cunningham was a teacher. That was what he wanted to do. He wanted to share his wisdom. And I have, taken up that. Part of the reason I do this is because I want to share my knowledge of my craft with others. My grandparents, I have a picture of my grandmother up there. My grandparents, I have picked up their Antifa cloak because they were both active duty Navy during World War II, and having followed in their footsteps into the Navy, I pick up that as well. But yet Mimi says that she wouldn't know. She would say she doesn't know, but she guesses great-grandfather never really thought about it and doesn't think he really shapes any part of her life. He does in the fact that he shaped your grandparent who then shaped your parent. But I can understand that. Thank you, Andrea. So here's another one that might be a little easier for a lot of us. And I look forward to hearing the man behind the curtains answers to this one. What stories or teachings have been passed down to you? Familial wisdom, cultural lore, or magical traditions that you feel called to preserve or retell? I have a few. Cultural lore, magical traditions. Not a whole lot of the way of family wisdom that came from my parents per se, but definitely the ones that came from the extended family. Oh, excuse me, but I know the man behind the curtain has some. A bunch of, just most of the stuff that Papa taught you. You know, white man builds big fire, stands far away, still cold. Red man builds little fire, stay huddle close, stay warm. That's one. All right. Weird. Okay. All right. So the man behind the curtain is, that is the one I'm working on, yes. Everybody say hi to the man behind the curtain.
Hello. I am here. Yes, I am here. And Joram had asked if I existed or if I was you.
I saw that.
I am here. And yes, you pretty much did explain it already. The most prevalent piece of wisdom that my grandfather passed to me before he died when I was 9 was about building a fire. And the way he phrased it was, the red man builds a small fire. Stay close. Stay warm. The white man builds a big fire. Stand way back. Still be cold.
That's the way it works. We're not Buddhist either, Joram. All right. So Andrea says her mother was more than likely bipolar and not ready to raise a child with disabilities. Oh, dear Lord, do I know that feeling. My disabilities didn't get bad until I was an adult, but my middle brother, family lore is he aspirated on a Cheerio and was clinically for an undeterminate amount of time and therefore has oxygen starvation brain damage. He is half deaf. However, upon further inspection of family lore, we are more willing to bet he has fetal alcohol syndrome. But my incubator also was not in any way, shape, form, or fashion prepared to mother a child with special needs. Yeah, and repeated concussions as a child because the bitch liked to walk up behind me and him and gib slap us hard enough that my brother regularly saw stars. I have no memory of it because I'm willing to bet somebody else up here does. There is a reason I refer to her as the incubator. So Andrea, do you know, and I'm not meaning to pry, do you know anything about the extended family beyond your parents? I am very, very lucky that I do know at least my mother's side of the family. Yeah. All right. I had a hair again. All right. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. We'll come back to some more questions. We'll come back to some more questions here in a little bit, but let's bebop on over and look at our oracle card for today. All right, y'all. So our oracle today is... Where are you going? You're halfway... You just finished it. It was at the top of the oracle. Hoy! All right. Our oracle card today is retail therapy or retail obsession. All right. My mother always used to say that she loved stuff. Looking back, it was more so an excuse for overconsumption, probably in an attempt to cope with her own trauma, including a very stressful home life, which she helped create, but I digress. I'll admit that I've practiced my fair share of retail therapy in an attempt to feel something. Probably runs in the family. I've come to realize that the dopamine hit I get from it is just that, a hit that quickly fades. Then I'm left underneath a teetering mountain of packages filled with stuff I really don't have space for. Sound familiar? If you pulled this card, then I'm sure you're nodding along, or maybe you're in denial and hexing my name. That's fine. I've experienced much, much worse. That doesn't make this issue go away. Witch bestie, please look at your spending habits. Consider the fact that there's a difference between treating yourself and obsessively spending without a single care for the potential consequences. If your little treats are creating far more problems than they're solving, then it's time to get it under control. You got this. And of course, it didn't... There's what I'm looking for. Voice to text misunderstood what I was saying, so I need to get the correct words. Give me a second. There we go. Oh, okay. So, your night in journal prompt. If you feel inclined to spend, stop to make a list titled Reasons Why I Need This Thing. Try to come up with at least 4 substantial ones. No, because it's cute isn't good enough in this instance. Hopefully you'll come to your senses by the time you're done writing. Magical tip. Magical no spending affirmations. And this one is one I need. Alright, so our first affirmation is, I don't need that shit. Where would I put it anyway? Spending money on shit is not the only way to feel good. There are better and less expensive ways to deal with this shit. And I need to go find some other shit to do. Perhaps this card isn't about your money spending. Are you so fixated on the material world, otherwise known as the real world, that you've forgotten to tend to your spiritual world? At the same time, don't become so lost in the spiritual that you forget the material, because despite what some might say, it's important too. And with most things, balance is key. All right. Hey, Mike. Yay! Mike got new tarot cards. Yay! We're going to celebrate. The Baker family. Is there any chance you're a member of the Baker family that lives in Maryland? If you are, I'm going to laugh my ass off. That's trippy. I have a friend from high school who married into the Baker family. And they're from... Is Maryland where I'm thinking? Maybe not. Where did our math speaking friend land? Delaware. Correction. They're in Delaware. So, yeah. I would just be amused if you were distantly related to my friend's husband. That would be kind of fun. Serendipity, right? Let's move on to today's tarot card. All right. Tarot card is the Knight of Cups. There we go. And it says, romanticize the present moment every chance you get. It's a great day to fall in love with everyone and everything, isn't it? The Knight asks you. In some readings, this card will represent a teenager or perhaps a young adult, but in most of your readings, you will find that it probably represents the type of person who never fails to captivate everyone around them with their enchanting personality. This person sees life through a lens of longing and may express their feelings through writing, painting, music, or perhaps grand displays of affection. If this represents you, then remember to safeguard your precious heart. If this is a person in your life, then be careful with their precious heart for as long as it's in your hands. And that, my darlings, is our tarot card for today. That. There we go. Now I'm going to put the cards away. And let me know in the comments what you guys think of today's cards. And here is today's affirmation as well. Today's affirmation. I move through life with an open heart and a discerning spirit. I give and receive from a place of balance, investing wisely in my dreams, my energy, and my joy. My emotional and spiritual wealth flow in harmony, and every act of love returns to me multiplied. What do y'all think? I think we're doing pretty good. I know, Michael asking about the Knight of Cups is kind of amusing. That was today's card. That's the oracles, but... Oh, how can we deal with this? Okay, so do you want mundane dealing with him, magical dealing with him, or a combination of all of the above? Because we have to stop and realize that if we do something... metaphysically that causes him to be removed from office, then we have to deal with the line of succession behind him, starting with Shady Vance, who may be an idiot, but he is not that much of an idiot, and he is a politician from the jump. He has very definitive ideas about what is right and proper, and has absolutely zero issue trying to force those ideas onto the rest of us. So we have to take that into consideration. However, what the man behind the curtain said is going to help us immensely. They are bullies. They are bullies. What are you doing? Sorry. I was trying to figure out if he was running in his sleep or what he was doing, because he's just scratching on the floor. But first and foremost, they are bullies. And what do bullies hate more than anything else? Being laughed at. That's why they make others laugh at other people. It takes the spotlight off of them. So we need to get as many packages of fucking mashed potato flakes as you can and start shipping them to the White House. Because one of the fascist Cheeto's most embarrassing moments of his entire life was when he was tormenting his younger brother, and his older sister grabbed the mashed potatoes that mom had just set on the table after everybody had told him to knock it off and he refused. She grabbed the mashed potatoes off the table and dumped them over his head. He stopped picking on his brother, and everybody else in the entire family started laughing at him. Good to know, Andrea. But yeah, so one of the first things we can do is just everybody start shipping mashed potato flakes to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Yeah, I refer to him as Shady Vance. How can they claim it's anthrax or attempted poisoning if you're shipping them untampered packages of mashed potato flakes? Hell, go online and just go to Amazon or some shit and order bulk amounts of fucking mashed potato flakes and have them shipped to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. It could work. And mind you, I am not the one who came up with this idea. This idea came from Mary Trump because she thoroughly enjoyed her aunt telling this story in the White House residential dining room. They had all gathered there for something like a nephew's graduation or some shit, and the fascist cheater decided to be benevolent and have the entire family to the White House to celebrate. And Mary, her aunt, Marianne, sat at the table and told the story, and he's the entire time sitting there. Did not. Just pouting. It was glorious. So we need to deluge the White House with fucking mashed potato flakes. And then we need to continue the blue wave that happened last week. We need to keep voting blue and get these dumbasses out of office. Because throughout history for the last 50 years, the Democrats will come into office and our country will be peaceful. The economy is thriving. The national debt is diminishing. And things are going great and fantabulous and wonderful. And then we'll elect a fucking Republican and we go to hell. I mean, they fucking start wars. They destroy the national economy. They triple or quadruple the national debt, and then we get another Democratic president in office who brings us back up and things start looking good again, and then we get a Republican. So we need to vote people into office who honestly, genuinely have the best interests of not just the country, but all of the citizens of our country at heart. And Republican presidents, this is my having watched it, what I have seen over the last almost 50 years, Republican presidents want to control, want to give tax breaks to their friends and the other, the rich people. And they are far more interested in accumulating wealth for themselves and their friends, and they really don't give a flying fuck what happens to the rest of us. None of the Republican Party presidents have done a thing for health care. None of them have done much, if anything, for Social Security, for veterans, for any of the low income and destitute population here in this country. But yet we get the Democratic presidents in office, and that's when Social Security became a thing. That's when veterans benefits started being more utilized, I guess. That's when Jon Stewart was able to help get the PACT Act passed for veterans who are victims of burn pit smoke, because that shit was some seriously toxic shit. That is when we got the Affordable Care Act so that more Americans could have health insurance than had in decades. Hell, since insurance became a thing. But yet, everybody wants... The Republican Party just wants to make life better for them and fuck everybody else. They don't care... They don't care about the little guy. That's true. They don't even necessarily really want to do it for themselves. They just... And I don't get it. Why does the freaking Republican Party have such disdain for paying taxes, the appropriate amount of taxes for themselves and their businesses. Why? Oh, wait a minute, because they don't want their tax dollars going to help whatever. Immigrants or the destitute or the poor or the sick or the disabled. I don't want my money going to that. NIMBYs, not in my backyards. They claim they support this shit until they're actually balls to the wall. You have to do something to actually support this. They're all great with thoughts and prayers, but when it comes to actions, that's another story altogether. And we're not even going to go into the whole biblical thing of your faith is nothing without action. If you just profess to believe this and this is what is on your heart, but you don't actually act on it, then your faith means nothing. I've been watching a lot of Monty again, and that is one that she keeps harping on, and I'm just, yeah. Oh, excuse me. All right. I'm sorry I'm sniffly. I think my CPAP is icky. I need to clean it tonight before I go to bed. But please bear with me. At least my nostril isn't whistling. It was. Let's move on and see what Mr. Rogers has to say today. I love this book. Mr. Rogers tells us, little by little, we human beings are confronted with situations that give us more and more clues that we aren't perfect. That's our Mr. Rogers quote and moment of Zen for today. Is it just me, or did I somehow manage to pull a Mr. Rogers quote that yet again goes along with the conversation we're having? How do I do this? Candle then, or blessing then candle. It is on. Okay, yep. All right, good. I did it right. Yay! All right. And now, my witchlings, we're going to wrap up this aspect, and then we get to chit-chat some more. All right. May your heart remember what your mind forgets. May the stories of your ancestors rise within you like dawn. May gratitude be your altar and love be your offering, and may you walk this week wrapped in their unseen embrace, guided, protected, and inspired. Spread love, spread joy, spread kindness. Namaste, my witchlings. That's right. Now, my darlings, as we open our circle with the extinguishing of our candle, we give our gratitude to the ancestors for joining us here today. Okay, and now, go out and spread love, joy, and kindness, my friends. There is already enough darkness and hate. Let's please try to be beacons of hope and light for those lost in the dark. All right, sorry. Tell your loved ones, whether they walk on two legs, fly with the wings, curl up with fur, glide on scales, or tiptoe on paws and claws, that they are absolutely precious to you. Moments slip away faster than we expect, and those last goodbyes often come far too soon. Now, my darlings, always, always, always also remember that you are loved, you are wanted, you are needed, and you genuinely do have a purpose, even if you have yet to figure it out. I love you guys. Namaste, witchlings. We're coming right back. No, I wasn't doing... All right, y'all. Okay. Oh, candle. We are having some massive amounts of miscommunication here today. I am so sorry, you guys. And I bumped the mouse, so. I am so frustrated with everything right now. Oh, that sucks, Mimi. Probably the weather changed because of the fact it started snowing. Itchy head. Okay. All right. I am slightly overly warm. I think the coffee's kicking in finally. This is kind of entertaining. All right. Let's see. What are we doing this week? I gotta get the blogs up. I gotta get the Sanskrit blog up and all the social media shit. That'll be coming this afternoon. Newsletter. Please tell me you guys are all subscribed to the newsletter. If you are not, I believe the link is in the link tree. It is. Yay. So please go sign up for the newsletter. I will be getting it set up and out tonight. Ugh. Yeah, my back has just not been happy the last couple of days. And I massaged my text provider. I texted my massage therapist about an appointment. What is in my newsletter? Okay. Give me just a quick sec. I'll pull one up on my phone and I can tell you basically the gist of what goes out every week. Bum, bum, bum. Because I'm a smart cookie and I subscribe to my own newsletter to make sure everything, goes out the way it's supposed to. And by the way, hello, Abracadabra. So basically, I send out 3, maybe 4 emails a week. And the first one goes out usually Sunday evening, Monday morning. And it is the Yoga with Dailin newsletter, because technically we are Yoga with Dailin. And it starts with Sunday Coffee and Cues, which is what we're doing here. Brief rundown on daily divinations and self-care, and chilling with the Witchlings. Tuesday night guided meditations, which is a Zoom thing. You can sign up for that on my website or click the link in the newsletter. Bitchin Witch. It tells you what the topic for Bitchin Witch is. I have yet to figure this week's out, so that'll be a minute. Then we have the topic of the Yoga Witch's Cauldron. And a link to the blog, which elaborates on the topic. Yoga in the Wild, I sometimes include. And then we have Friday Night Guided Meditation. I tell you what the topic of this week's meditation is, whether we're doing just meditation, Yoga Nidra Asana, or a combination of both. And then you'll get reminders on the day of those that, hey, this is coming up this afternoon or evening. Tune in. Here's the link. I try very, very, very hard to not spam my followers, because I know that if I get too many emails from someone, I just start ignoring them. Hey, John. Hey, Dark Wolf. I see you guys. Occasionally you'll get another email from me saying, hey, there's this cool thing happening. Or when things like my Sacred Spiral Flow is opening up for sign-ups, registrations. That's what I was looking for. So, yeah. That's what we do here. Let's see, what else are we doing? So, yeah, sign up for the mailing list. That is fun. Oh, wind through the pines. Oh, that is one of the most relaxing sounds. Where are you from, Abra? We are Seattle adjacent here. Oof. John should be asleep, yes. I'm thinking he just got out of class. Wisconsin. I have family in Wisconsin. We are from the Wild Rose area. I'm looking. I know. That's fine. Just, I'm confirming. No. I am. Yes, Mimi, you're signed up. Yeah, Tomahawk. Ooh. That town sounds familiar. Yeah, if you're not getting my emails and you know you're signed up, check your spam folder. I believe it comes from admin@yogawithdailing. Give me just a second to confirm that. Yep, admin@yogawithdailing.com. So please add that email to your spam filters or anti-spam filters. Yep, John is subscribed. Here's something trippy. Speaking of my massage therapist, Wisconsin family, she was talking to me about the fact that her family's from Wisconsin. And I asked, what area? And she's like, what area? Because I have family back there. And she's like, oh, and I'm like, yeah. Is your family anywhere around Wild Rose? And she's like, shut the front door. What? My mom goes to a church in Wild Rose. I'm like, oh my gosh. And that is a fairly small community area. So there is a good chance that her mom knows some of my extended family, which is trippy to me. Yep. Oh, the Golden Dawn. Oh, Lord. Yeah, the Golden Dawn Tarot. Golden Dawn gave us some interesting people, including, if memory serves me correctly, Aleister Crowley. So yeah. Ladies, those town names sound familiar, which is trippy. Let's see what, I made a bunch more necklaces last night. But they're back there, so I can't grab them. I have the Tree of Life with the triple moons on colorful necklaces now. I'm happy. Ow, I just scratched myself. Let's see, what else are we doing? Yep. Rider Waite Smith, Aleister Crowley. Rider himself was a member of the Golden Dawn, as was A.E. Waite. And I want to say Ms. Smith, who was the actual artist, met them through Golden Dawn, because Golden Dawn, surprisingly for that age, was very progressive. David Crowley, that name sounds familiar, my dear. Enlighten us. Consider we're talking about the Golden Dawn die. That was an interesting choice of words. We are moving the coffee cup so I don't drop stuff and get dust in it. I need canned air to blow my freaking desk here. I think that would work better than my Swiffer thingamajigger. I one of the things I want to do, not necessarily in the Witchy 101, but I want to cover some of the Witchy history, which would cover things like the Golden Dawn and Crowley and Uncle Bucky and all of that. For those of you who don't know who Uncle Bucky is, desk vacuum would be cool. Oh, thank you. He brought me air. Oh shit, there's a feather back there that I forgot about. Come here. Bloop. I know. I'll be gentle and not scare her too much. It turned the Google Nest on. That's trippy. There's enough pressure with this canned air that it's making my Google Nest speaker light up. That's kind of funny. Yes, a desk vacuum would be cool. I've looked at a few. But I want to do witchy history and cover some of the well-known names in Wicca and witchcraft, and even touching on Satanism, because honestly, Anton LaVey, whether he was pagan or not, he is a huge name in the pagan community because so many pagans and Satanists share, if not beliefs, but share stigma. Yes, that would be kind of cool. And I believe it is the golden key that they're talking about the opening of the key with. But there's just so much really interesting and fascinating stuff. Hey, for some of us, true crime is soothing. For some of us, others not so much. He's saying that the reason a lot of women find true crime soothing and relaxing is because we just want to make sure we know how to do it and not get caught, right? I know, John, we're looking forward to it too. Kinda, Andrea, yes. But it's not a physical key like you would open a door. It's a metaphysical or metaphorical key. Occasionally it's something like an idea or a word or some such. Let's go. Let's bring Bucky up. Not the same Bucky, but Bucky Barnes. Think of it this way, that the key, the word that was used to take him from Bucky Barnes to the Winter Soldier was a key. A trigger can be a type of key. Oh, that needs to be bad. All right. I have chaos. Ooh, 40 seconds. And then it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ha! Yep. I don't play with people. Yes. I don't mess with people who do whippets. Or at least that do whippets regularly. I say that because I'm fairly certain at least one of my kids has done them. No, we don't do that shit here. Yeah, Candair whippets. Candair is way different and way worse. You know what? You're gonna go ahead and go into the pen can. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. It was. Andrea, not funny, sweetheart. That was, yeah, the whippets and her brother, not a good mix. I can understand wanting it to be put where you can't see it. I know that feeling, Mimi. I shed so much, I would have to tie my hair up and then just freaking super glue like a something to my head. And then gloves, which would make it impossible for my manual dexterity. Voss, that is racist as fuck, and I don't care. You finish that, and you will be kicked out. We do not play with racism here. We are not tolerant of intolerance. And not to mention the fact that I have people that I love very dearly who are not white. Now, on that note, what was I just going to do? Oh, nope, that's okay. No, nope, thank you, Andrea. I appreciate that. We don't play around with that shit here. That's fine. 24-hour timeout is not bad. Okay. Don't mind me, it's my daily tidy my shit up or lose my shit. We don't, I don't play around with shit like that. You know, I have too many people I love who just are not white. And it's not worth playing with. Okay, you guys, I have a question for you. I have something that I want to add to my merch. And it's these adorable little spoons with a little crystal point on top. Which I acquired. I agreed to let Kat buy them for me. Because I have these that have the raw stones. I have 2 of them myself. And I just think they're adorable. But these, I don't know if they are actually crystal, like if they are their quartz, or if they're glass. Oh, sending all the love to you, John, and all of the good juju. Would you guys want to purchase these, whether they were actually crystal or not, from a witch? Because that is my conundrum. I don't like the idea of selling something that says it's crystal when it's not. His ex-brother-in-law is black, which is half black, which means our niece and nephew are a quarter. And I have, well, my friends down in Vegas, love the both of them to pieces. They are both black. I have a sister veteran who I absolutely adore. She is black. Thank you, Andrea. Okay, so what are they? I'll grab this one because it's mine. They are basically just a little spoon with a crystal on the top of them. That may be glass, maybe CZ, maybe who God knows what. Might actually even be quartz crystal. This one, the reason it's in here is I will occasionally use it when I want to bespell my coffee and I'm stirring the creamer in a little better. I'll use it. But I just... Thank you, Andrea. If you have managed to keep with the not drinking, doing drugs, or anything, I am impressed. Thank you, Joram. Joram also says he doesn't fuck with racism either. I think Joram is a he. I apologize if not. I try! That is a hard line for me. We respect difference here. Yay! I was right. And I have said numerous times, I abide by the tolerance paradox of I do not tolerate intolerance. Because once you allow even a little bit of intolerance to sneak in, then you've just opened the floodgates. The story I read that introduced me to it is basically this guy's at a bar, brand new to him bar, and he's in there, he's sitting at the bar, chit-chatting with the bartender, when this guy walks in with a jacket, I think it was denim, sits down, and the bartender just so smoothly reaches down, grabs a bat out from under the bar, slams it down on the bar, and says, "Get out," to the guy in the jacket. And the guy in the jacket's like, "Hey, I'm just chilling here. I'm nice. I just wanna sit here and have a drink and enjoy the bar." And the bartender's like, "No, get out. I know what those patches and what those insignia mean. You are not welcome in my bar. Get out." And the guy's like, "Fine." And so the person telling the story is like, "What's up with that?" He's like, "Neo-Nazi, white supremacist, not the kind of person I want in my bar, because as soon as you let one come in and get comfortable, then he brings a buddy in. And so you got, okay, one, maybe two, okay, we can handle that, we can deal with that. And then the next thing you know, the buddy brings a buddy and they bring their buddy, and the next thing you know, you sneeze and you're a Nazi bar. I am not playing that shit." So that is where the tolerance paradox was explained to me. As soon as you start tolerating those who are intolerant, you are now intolerant. I don't play that shit here. And there are certain things that are absolute non-negotiables in this space. All humans deserve respect. Healthcare is healthcare, and that includes abortions and other mental health care as well. It is a fundamental human fucking right. I don't care what religion you are. We are pagan here in this household, but having grown up Christian, I am tolerant of most Christians. But as soon as you start trying to shove your religion down my throat, I will not tolerate it. You come into my chat and tell me that we need to find God, we're going to start cracking jokes about the fact that we're going to take custody of Jesus because you damn Christians keep losing him. John is a good example of we tolerate other religions. The man's fucking Roman Catholic, for the love of all things holy and unholy in this case. So religion is like a penis. It's all fine and good to have one of your own, but as soon as you start shoving it down other people's throats, we got problems. Thank you. I believe Meryl Streep, not positive. Let's see what else. Hey, I love that particular explanation or way of wording it. You try to shove it down my throat, I'm gonna choke you. I do not tolerate racism. I do not tolerate classism. I do not tolerate treating others as less than because of something they have no control over. We are a queer-friendly, trans-friendly space. They would. But, you know, we are family-friendly for the most part. Exactly. John, do you love your neighbor as you would love yourself? Do you do unto your neighbor as you would have done unto you? That didn't work right. If you do, then you're far more Christ-like than anyone else. Come here, you stupid bottle of foundation. I absolutely love the fact that I just sit here and clean in front of the Witchlings and nobody gives a rat's fluff. Now, whether the church would tolerate the puns or not, I'm not sure. However, comma pause, the current pope is American, so he might be slightly more tolerant of it. I'm still flabbergasted by the fact that the pope is American. Yeah, he's also a Cubs fan, so, you know, he's used to getting his ass kicked. No, I didn't spill anything. I knocked this off of the side table because I forgot to put it away this morning. Oh no, if I spill something or break something, y'all are gonna know about it because I'm gonna start swearing. Yeah, love you, Popey. The only evil in tarot is your puns. I love it. Oh, damn. I need that one. That might explain part of your headache, sweetheart. I need to find that one. Uh-oh. John's traveling again, I think. Or did I drop again? Oh, yeah. There is a reason I do not do energy drinks. So, Andrew asking if I spilled anything. I went to bed after the man behind the curtain last night, and as I'm sitting down to medicate, I dropped my lighter. I knocked it off the table. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, it wasn't that loud. He's in bed. He didn't hear it. 20 minutes later, I finally go in there and he's like, what did you drop? And I'm like, my lighter. I thought you were asleep. And he's like, no, I've been sitting here panicking, thinking you had broken something. And we're sitting out there crying, thinking I was going to be mad at you. And I'm like, oh no. Had I broken something, especially something glass, the entire house would have known about it because of the string of swear words. And then I would have been turning every light on and getting help cleaning it up, because glass is one of those things that I am really, really, really paranoid about. Because my neighbor in Navy housing had a son who was hemophiliac, and I had broken a light bulb or a dish in my kitchen a few days before they came over one afternoon. And I thought I had gotten all of the glass cleaned up, and he stepped on a piece and started bleeding in my kitchen. And his mother and I both freaked. Thankfully, we managed to get it cleaned up, or managed to get his heel to stop bleeding, but that was a very scary afternoon for me. I have dropped so many things in that kitchen, but they were all the white Corelware shit. He ran away. I know. Anybody heard from Irish lately? I don't think we ever have. Oh, I would so have been channeling Gordon Ramsay. I respect Meryl Streep a lot. She's a pretty awesome actress. I don't know much about her personal, but what I do know, she's pretty cool. I did not realize she could sing until I watched Mamma Mia. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, fabulous movie. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Is it windy? My lights just blinked. Okay. So we need to keep an eye on the snuggle puppy. Roger that. He could be pretty. My birthday present from my spawn. I'm just kind of moving everything onto my desk mat so I can clean up, because I got some dusty ass shit going on here. And you guys get to watch me clean. Hey, Zen! No carbs or sugar. Yeah. I have to be careful with energy drinks, although that one might be fun for me because the caffeine and the ADHD are great. Boom, 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 boom. This little thing is the absolute best thing. Hey, Raven, yeah. Well, we got 20 more minutes. This is one of the best things. My marketing director bought me a tripod for my phone so I could film on it. And this remote, I push the button and it'll take pictures, or if it's on video, it'll start the recorder. Love it. What are you up to today, Raven? The remote, Mimi? Believe kiddo got it on Amazon. Hello, fuzzy butts. You're not getting my chair, you furry little bastard. Ha! Yes. It's a good movie. The local theater here in town had a Mother's Day sing-along of it. And the Spawn is like, Mom, we gotta go. Love that kid. Yes. And this one was like, it was less than $20 if I remember right. That is true. But yes. Oh, the rose. We found this at a sweet little craft store down in Tacoma, but I have seen them more locally. Can't remember where, but if I can find where they are being purchased from wholesale. No, I just tapped my nose with it. If I can find where they are sold wholesale, I will acquire some because I absolutely love them and I would love to sell them because, well, they're just really pretty. I swear to God, at this point, I am going to end up opening a fucking craft store of my own once this starts generating enough income that I might be able to afford to pay the rent. And I have done the market research because this has been a thought for about a year now. I did the market research and there isn't a metaphysical shop other than my old mentor's place that she closed. And even that wasn't what I'm looking at. Nope. So I want to open one. No, I have not heard if we are on the list for Yule yet or not. I am not anticipating hearing about that until probably closer to Thanksgiving. And I still need to touch base with Danny and let her know that I have merch that I want to sell this time, which is either going to completely hose me being a vendor or it's going to get me in faster. Have not come to any conclusions on that yet. Oh, Raven, I have something for you. I don't do the mushies, but I know you do. Oh! Fuck it. Doink! You're still not getting the chair, child. So, told you I made more necklaces. Yes, that's okay. I thought of Raven. I specifically made one for Raven. Good to know, Raven. Okay, you sit there. So, I know! As soon as I saw that I had 3 orange lanyards, I'm like, making one. That was the very first one I made last night, too. I'm like, making an orange one for Raven. All right. Do what, huh? Can I pick it up this way? Wait! Nope, I didn't think so. I had a feeling. Don't mind me. Right. What are we doing? Why for are you making noise, babe? Oh, I just had the one. I wanted to show Raven that I had an orange one for them. All right. I'm so happy. No, it's not. It's going to move shortly, but I got to clean up the mess I've got here. All right. I heard uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Hey, let me see. I am straight up afraid to pick my ass up out of my chair right now because someone... Oh, he left. I am straight up nervous about standing up out of my chair right now because someone was just sitting here watching me. Damn it. How do I get the... Aha, there we go. So... All right. Oh, that's gonna be cool. Oh, that is so cool, Raven. I love you so much. Thank you, Mimi. I am having so much fun making it. And then, gonna get the crew together here soon. Actually, Raven's coming over here in a few days. Get the crew together. Maybe we'll throw some more merch together, some more earrings and necklace. Ooh, steaks and mac and cheese. is the furry little bastard back to himself. So I was starting to say I'm afraid to pick my ass up out of the chair because someone will steal it. That would be the furry little asshole. He is very much back to feeling like his normal self. I'm fairly sure he's back to eating regularly again, which was my primary concern. That was the one thing he wasn't doing yet. So yes. All right. Now, John said it would help to get opinions. Oh, girl, you have no idea. He had Luna freaked out. She was going ape shit because her kitty was not acting like himself. She was pouncing at him in the corner of the bedroom one night. And he was getting pissed off enough at her that he was growling and hissing at her. And that was abnormal for them. Do I like Melanie Martinez? Take her or leave her. In my mind, she's much like Sabrina Carpenter. Oh, he is very much waiting for the opportunity to gank my chair. Yes. Oh, Raven, when you come over this time, you're going to have to fight JN for Sarge. Sarge has decided new big brother is his new person. To the point that when I tell him he needs to go take a bath, he will climb JN like a freaking tree. No, Mommy, no, don't make me. That is awesome, Andrea. I remember being a teenager. And there is this town in Oregon between the town I graduated high school in and Salem, the state capital, that has a couple of neighborhoods. Okay, multiple neighborhoods. That, you drive through them and they're all decorated and shit. And I remember the first year we did it, we had my niece and nephew with us. And my mom had my nephew sitting in her lap. And he had these little cowboy boots on. And he was getting so excited. He was kicking. My mother, from ankle to knee, was covered in bruises from the heels of his cowboy boots. I miss that little shit. Yes! John? Yes. I need to put you in touch with Alyssa. John's in the Discord though, so I can tag Liz and get them connected. Liz is a manifestation marvel. I mean, this woman walked into Alyssa and her husband walked into his command Christmas party the year before they moved to Alaska. And she saw the giant screen TV and the Xbox 360 and she's like, those are going home with us tonight. Come the end of the night, they're doing the drawing for those two items, and lo and behold, they went home with Alyssa and her husband. Oh, honey, you're only 12. Please don't rush things. Because of my own personal history, my experience isn't, normal. But you're fairly young and you've got time. Joram, we'll see you later. And, Zin, it's not a huge deal. I mean, maybe your ace, maybe your arrow. It's not a huge thing. That is true too, Raven. But it's okay. Please do not be in a rush to grow up. Relationships and other things like that are they're like far more grown-up things. At least wait until you're about 14 to start worrying about relationships. Because I really want you guys to just enjoy being kids. And the stuff that comes with being in a relationship is just more stress than you need to deal with. And I genuinely get sad when I see young teens, like 11 to 14, tweens and young teens, feeling pressured like they have to be in a relationship, or they have to know their sexuality, or they have to know exactly who they are right now. Because those years are your years to find yourself, you know? That's where you're supposed to be able to figure out, okay, do I like boys? Do I like girls? Do I like both? Do I like none? Is physical affection something I'm really into, or do I really not want anybody to touch me? And the thought of doing that is so you have so much time to figure yourself out. Don't rush. Now, I want to say, yeah, I kind of had a couple of crushes when I was little, but again, with what was being done to me when I was very little, I don't know how reliable I am, and my experience, I am. So you have practically another lifetime before you have to worry about that, sweetheart. And yeah, and here's something for you. One of my kids knew early on they were arrow ace, or at least they were ace, correction. Another one thought they were homosexual for many, many years, and then figured out actually pan as by the time they were 13, 14. And then my other child thought they were straight as an arrow until their mid-20s. And they're in a relationship with someone of the opposite gender who was sharing pictures and stuff that were kind of piquing an interest that my child didn't realize they had. So and then there's people like me, until it was pointed out to me that my thoughts were not straight, I have known what I was forever. And then we come into, as Mimi said, a high school librarian who went from male to female, didn't phase. I have known transgender people who have known since they were cognizant of who they are, that the body didn't fit the brain. And then there are other transgender people in my life who didn't realize it until puberty hit. And then there's still more who didn't fully realize it until they were adults. Exactly. Yes. Worry about your studies. Get through school. Then worry about relationships. Because as much as we, especially here in the United States, romanticize high school sweethearts becoming, lifelong relationships, that is very, very, very fairy tale fantasy. Almost never happens. I know. But just... Andrea, you strike me as arrow ace, which is great. I remember being a freshman in high school and absolutely fascinated by a classmate's boobs. Although rewind about 6 years from that, and I was pointing out the waitress's boobs to my brother, got him slapped because she thought he had put me up to it, and they're like, nope. That is 100% her, which I think is part of why when I came out to my dad, he looked at me and said, your point, I've known it forever. Gee, thanks, Dad. Yeah, small town romances. You fall in love in high school. That's when the high school quarterback marries the head cheerleader, and they spawn the next generation of high school quarterback. And... What? Oh, yeah. It is awesome, John. I have told you all about having a Trump supporter in my house who is retired Navy, and he decided to tell me that the only reason transgender women wanted access to the women's berthing is so they could, assault the female sailors. And I'm like, really? You honestly think that's what transgender women are after? Well, yeah. And I'm like, that's interesting because I have a very dear friend who is a transgender woman, and I'm bisexual, by the way. She has told me repeatedly that she finds me incredibly attractive and that if I weren't in a relationship, she'd shoot her shot. We have shared a bed numerous times now. Never once has she tried anything inappropriate with me. We have changed clothes together numerous times. Never once has she ever tried anything inappropriate towards me. At this point, this man turned and looked at the man behind the curtain with an expression on his face like, you let your wife sleep in the same bed with someone like that? And he's like, it's a girlfriend. What's your problem? So, yeah. This is the same woman who sent me a picture of herself on their next visit. And me totally forgetting she's trans. Because she's just her, right? And she sends me this picture. She looks really adorable in the picture. So I show my husband, hey, look, doesn't she look really cute here? And then I realized, oh, I'm being rude. I should share this with everybody else. And I turn the phone on. I'm like, look, my friend just sent me her picture. And isn't she really cute here? And he's like, don't start problems. And I'm like, what? Oh. Okay. Mimi, pan means pansexual, which means you do not care race, or you don't care about their gender. You fall in love with the person, not the parts. Andrea, you could be lesbian, ace, aromantic, asexual. You could be a lesbian who is both as well. Yep. Mimi's been attracted to both. I have, your mom told you not to talk about it. Yes! I had a... After I came out to my dad, we were sitting at McDonald's with my now ex-husband, and there was this really nice motorcycle sitting out in the parking lot. And so we start talking about the motorcycle, how it's a cool bike, really nice bike, and then the rider goes out and climbs on the bike, and she was hot. And so the three of us are sitting there together discussing which is hotter, the rider or the bike. I think we came to the conclusion they were about equal. Other than the fact it was a fucking crotch rocket. But that's neither here nor there. I have my opinions on crotch rockets. So, yep. My dad said he had been waiting for me to come out to him so he could talk like that with me again. That's true too, hun. Why are you getting his attention? We're trying to keep his ass safe. We're keeping him hidden. He doesn't want anything to do with him either. Can you blame him? I am horrible. I am so horrible. I love it. Why do you guys put up with me? Oh, yep. So do they have a bunch of chargers? No, I was thinking a Charger, maybe a Ram. I don't know. Maybe a Challenger. Because he's walking through the dodgy part of town. Man, I want to... Or a Dart. Yeah, maybe they've got a Dart or a Challenger. Maybe a Cobalt. No, Cobalts are Chevys. Never mind. Yes, Dodge Hornets. Hornets are Dodge. Have they come out with a new one like the Hornet, though? Novas or Chevys? Novas or Chevys? The man behind the curtain's first car was a Nova. So was one of my brother's first cars was a Nova. Yes, that is a good idea, Andrea. I highly recommend that for everybody Make sure that you know who and what you are, and you are confident in who and what you are before you go out and get into a relationship with another person and fuck their lives up too. Hoy, I honestly, there are so many reasons I wish I had waited to get into relationships. Because my insanity did not help most of the relationships I've been in. Check out this really cool purple lipstick. I love this color. Tarte, of course. Because I don't wear anything but Tarte. Well, I do now, but... Alright, you are going to go in the box later. Well, how about them apples? We've hit our 2 hours. Sad face. Happy face. Can't decide face. I'm kind of there too, Raven. I've had gods. More than I want to think about. But all of them, well... I had 1.5 relationships in high school. I say 1.5 because the first one decided to stalk me and terrify me. And then the second one, I absolutely adore him. Wonderful man. But, we were teenagers and he didn't like the fact that I enlisted in the military. Cannot hold that against him at all. Oh, I have. She shared some cheesy shit in the Discord server. There's stuff going on in the house right now, and they are incredibly busy. They've had some minor issues that might turn into some major issues, but she is fine. She does appreciate that y'all worry about her. No kidding. And then Mike is doing okay. He called out of work the other day, and I haven't talked to him. Didn't talk to him yesterday, but I do know he's doing okay. That's 5 kids. 5 kids? Not horrible. I have 3 that I birthed. I have 3 that adopted me. I have way more that I call my kids. All right, y'all. We have made our 2 hours, which is wonderful. And she's good. Thank you for carrying Mimi. We appreciate it. I am going to bippity boppity back the fuck off of here, because this witch has to do a couple of things, including hitting the head. So I will see you guys tomorrow. So let's go out and spread love, spread joy, and spread kindness, because there is already enough hate and discontent out there. We do not need to be adding to that pile. And then please make sure that your loved ones know that you love them no matter what their species is. And please, my witchlings, always, always, always remember that you are loved, you are wanted, you are needed, and you genuinely do have a reason for being here, even if you haven't figured out what it is yet. I was 45, and before I did, John, I really wish I could wait and let you get through the area. The man behind the curtain will probably keep it alive, but I gotta run for a minute. I will see you guys soon. Namaste, my witchlings. I love you to bits.